Welcome back to Salty Sunshine. You have your host here, Lisa. I'm so happy to be back to talk some salty shiz nai. I'm sitting here drinking a Bloom energy drink. If you're looking for a snack that curbs your appetite, I think you should look into Bloom sparkling water energy drinks. I only drink half a can. They come in the most delicious flavors and they really do kind of shut down your appetite for a little bit. I saw a girl talking about it on TikTok, so I was like, "Oh, let me try them." And they have delicious flavors. They're so good, but I don't drink a whole can cuz I don't like to feel jittery. I'm not going to take the chance cuz it's not worth it, but I'll drink like half a can at a time and they're long cans, but they're really good. But also if you don't like energy drinks cuz this one it has like clean stuff in it. It's not like a Red Bull. It's like healthier, but still it has like a lot of the B12 and all that and caffeine. But you can also just do a regular. So Bloom also has kind of like a poppy drink, the prebiotic soda. So you could do Bloom or Poppy or any brand, Olipop. All those drinks are really good to kind of snack on if you don't want to eat but you feel like having something yummy. It's a good diet hack, I think. So I'm drinking my Bloom. This one is juicy orange flavor. It's so good. It's really good. Walmart is the cheapest. You can get like the 6 pack, 12 pack. It's like the cheapest bang for your buck because in the gas stations or at Walgreens they're like $2.99 each when you can get like a 6 pack for like $10. But yeah, it's really good. What's going on this week? How's everyone doing? It's been raining nonstop. I don't know what's happening. It feels like hurricane is coming, but I just finished watching The Girlfriend on Prime. Everyone's talking about it. And if you haven't seen it and you don't want to hear spoilers, fast forward because I'm gonna talk about it. So The Girlfriend on Prime. What's that lady's name? There's an actress on there that I really like. She's so beautiful. The woman that plays the mom. I have her name right here. So Robin Wright, she's so awesome. She does a great job. Olivia Cook is the girlfriend, and then other people, I don't know who their names are, but it's a really good. So I don't know how I feel about it actually. It's not bad, obviously, but I got kind of, I don't know, I got kind of annoyed. Like, where is this going? It was just a little. So first of all, the mom and the dad, they have an open marriage because the mom fell in love with like a woman back in the day, and then she ended up pregnant, so she chose her family over the woman, which is the love of her life. And then they have sort of an open marriage, so he has like a side chick and she's well aware of it. They're very open about it and it's weird, right? And then they have a son, and then the son meets this girl, and the girl is a little cuckoo. She ends up like kissing the guy really heavily in front of the mom, which is gross. And the first time she meets the mom, she goes to the parents' house and she's like doing dirty stuff with him in the bedroom, which I would never do. That's insane behavior. That is so disrespectful on the first day meeting them. Anyways, the mom saw it, and then long story short, it progresses, but it doesn't outright show you that she's batshit. Like, even to the end. I don't know if she's evil or it's circumstantial. Like, you can't tell, which is good, right? Because it keeps you on your toes. Like, I'm confused. Is she a raging evil bitch, or is she just like had, bad things happen to her and then she's like a little possessive? Who knows? I don't know because she did some crazy shit towards the mom, but I never felt the mom was in danger that she was going to do something to her. And so that made me confused. I'm like, is the mom the one that's actually nuts? Is it her? Um but yeah, what really annoyed me is things started to get crazy between them, and the girl tried to sabotage a bunch of stuff for the mom. But like, the mom has a lot of money, and then the mom looked crazy. The husband was getting sick of it. The son was like, "I don't want anything to do with you." Everyone was like, she looked like the crazy person. But with that said, if you know that this girl has a shady past and she's investigating her and she finds out some crazy stuff, the girl pushed her dad down a flight of stairs or something off a building, and he almost died, and he's been in a home ever since, and he hates her guts. Like, she can't show up to visit him because he freaks out and tells her to fuck off. The guy can't even talk, and he manages to tell her to that. And my point is, if the mom has enough money from the get go, she should have hired a private investigator. It was kind of driving me crazy that all these things kept going unproven, and the mom could have just very easily hired a private detective and had all the proof of everything, because she just looked crazy. No one believed her because she would find out things after the fact. So anyways, it's interesting. It got a little tired. I finished it, but I was already over it. I was like, how long is this going to go on, you know? So that was The Girlfriend on Prime. um I also saw the Charlie Sheen documentary. I think it's only 2 episodes. The first episode felt like 4 episodes. It really was dragging on because they really went from the beginning. I forgot he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That was fun to like see that. And he was in all these like little series and movies I forgot about. But I did appreciate that he did say how embarrassing it is to look at this, and he's super ashamed, which he should be, because I'm sorry, he's a complete degenerate. Charlie Sheen is or was a complete degenerate. I'm sorry. Addiction is not a disease, in my opinion. No, I'm not a doctor, but I've come from a family full of addicts, and I just see things for what they are. And I'm sorry, if you've been doing drugs for 20 years and one day you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, that's not a disease. That's a choice. And that's how I see it. But he was a complete degenerate. He got with Denise Richards. He was never like a good parent. Like now, apparently, he's involved at least in one of her child's lives. I think the other one doesn't really get along with him, but he's there now. But I mean, now, after all these years, he's only been sober for 8 years. That's not a very long time. And think about it. He's been drugged up his entire life. Not only drugged up, all he wanted to do was have sex with prostitutes. That is so disgusting. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And then why do you always need to be married if you want to have sex with prostitutes? Why? That's such a man thing too, right? You want the wife because you want the stability and you want someone at home and someone to go to your stupid premieres with, but then you're, doing all your disgusting stuff on the side. So him and Denise didn't last at all, right? Because they got together super quick. They were super hot and heavy, super fast. They met on set um, of a movie they did together, which didn't do very well. And then she got pregnant right away. They got married right away, and he was back on drugs right away. So I think he started taking pills again. He had cleaned up his act, and then when he got with her, and then he went downhill. He obviously just loved chaos, and he loved the drugs, and he loved um the prostitutes, which is so weird. And then he testified against Heidi Fleiss, and Heidi Fleiss, like, he's such a little bitch. She called Charlie Sheen a spineless little bitch. I thought that was so funny. She's like, he didn't have to rat me out. He could have shut up. He's a superstar. He got all these chances. No one's going to hold it against him, which, you know what? She's right. If that would have been a woman behaving that way, she would have been a dirty, disgusting, vile human being. And this idiot goes out there and he's so charming. It's just like, ew, I hate that. Oh my gosh, that is such a pet peeve of mine. He's a degenerate. That's how I see him. He's a freaking degenerate that didn't give a shit about what he was doing to his family, to his kids, to his ex-wives, his wives. His second wife after Denise Richards, Brooke Mueller, she still looks so off. She's in the confessionals and she's just like talking about it. You could tell the drugs, she's either still on them, she's on pills, or she's off, like they messed her up. And even she made a appearance on Denise Richards' show, Wild Things, and Denise and her got really close. Denise is one of those women though, like, she took care of Charlie Sheen's 2 kids that he had with Brooke when they were doing heavy drugs together, and always domestic abuse and violence and all this stuff. Shit show, just a shit show. And Denise was like way too nice, taking care of his kids, and she would show up at his house, the studio for 2.5 Men would call her and be like, can you go check on Charlie, please? We want to make sure he's okay. She would go make him sandwiches after, a month bender on drugs and prostitutes in the house. And she was making the prostitute sandwiches. And she's like, why am I not going to make them I'm not making a nice sandwich. It's just like a cold turkey sandwich. Denise is also off. You guys, all these people are off. I know she's nice and sweet, but you could tell, even on the Housewives, she has a little switch that flips sometimes, and she's a little off herself. So I enjoyed the documentary. I do like that he called himself it was disgusting behavior, all that stuff. Um, I just wish they would stop calling it like a disease, because it's not a disease. I wish he would have said, listen, that I wanted to do that. I chose to be a degenerate and I'm paying heavily for it. And don't do it. Like, I was just a jackass. I wish, because that's what's happening. It's not because you have a disease. It's because you want to be a degenerate. And it's a choice. That's how I see it. But then John Cryer, his co-host on Two and a Half Men, I thought it was interesting too, because he was at the height of his bad behavior, and they even gave him that. There was another show that they gave him to play, quote unquote, a Charlie Sheen type of person. And again, they're rewarding his bad behavior. And so then they gave him Two and a Half Men with John Cryer. And John Cryer said, he was just all over the news with all these police calling here and there and the drugs and all this stuff. And what did they do? They gave him 4 times his contract amount to renew. And I'm sitting here not making even close to that. That's messed up. And I'm glad he said that, because it just shows people just reward the bad behavior, and it has to do with the public rewarding it. And then hence the studio is going to reward it, because the public is what brings them money with viewership. And it was pretty interesting. It was also interesting how they said his drug dealer. So there was this chunky guy that made a shit ton of money creating drugs for Charlie. And I want to know, did that guy serve any time in jail? Because you can't do that. You can't just make drugs for people. But basically he said, we all know he's not going to stop doing drugs. So they asked somebody in his camp, Charlie's camp, asked the drug guy, can you make it less potent so he doesn't kill himself? So the guy starts making a weaker version. And as over a year and a half, he made it weaker and weaker and weaker. And it kind of weaned him off. It kind of weaned him off the cocaine, and he ended up just like not enjoying it anymore and stopped doing it. So again, it's not a disease, it's a choice. And they kind of brainwashed him with pretty brilliant plan. Although he could have ended up dying, right? But it worked. Whoever came up with that was a good idea. But I want to know if that guy ever went to jail, because that's crazy that he just had his personal drug maker. And the guy's like, I made so much money, I didn't know what to do with all my money. It's just insane, the amount of money he blew. And then he talked about how he thought he was going through withdrawals, but Denise said, I think there's something wrong with you, and it's more than the drugs, because he had tingling and shaking and he wasn't right. And she's like, I need you to get checked for HIV. And he did, and he was positive. So that's how he found out. And then I'm always curious. I've never seen Brooke or any of the prostitutes or Denise Richards say that they were scared that they might have contracted it, right? I would have been scared, but they never talk about that. And I always want them to talk about that, because there's no way they didn't all freak out and go run and get tested. Because how did they not get infected? Because there's no way he got it like towards the end, miraculously, while he wasn't with any of these women. But so yeah, it's fine. It's a good. It just, the first episode is too much about the past, and it's a little boring. The second episode's a little more present, so it gets better. But yeah, I saw that. That was good. I read this other article. Cigarettes are back in style. Say it isn't so. I can't. That's crazy. Cigarettes they went out of style, which was such a good thing, partly because they got very expensive. But now they're all the like stars and celebrities, and people are making it cool again because they're showing it in their ads, and they're putting it in the movies again and all that. So people are smoking again, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't smoke. It never turns out well. And I don't like this comeback. I mean, everything, I want the 90s to come back, but not the smoking part. Although I see why people smoke. It is a fun pastime. It's just like you can't get away from how bad it is for you. I don't know why they can't make a normal cigarette that's not bad for you, but I don't think we're supposed to inhale anything. So no matter what they make, it's going to mess up your lungs, because that's not natural. It's not supposed to have any sort of anything in there, especially like smoke. And then I saw this other article David Beckham has a farm and he's making jam and he's calling it BeckJAM. BeckJAM. He's coming after Meghan Markle. She's shaking in her boots. No, I think it's so funny because he's obviously bored to death. Like what's going on? Do you think Victoria Beckham has the ick? I would get the ick. Like I think a man that cooks is hot, a man that helps you in the, you know, with your plants and in the garden, but help you. Like this is his thing, which is icky to me. Like he kind of is, with his apron out there, doing the bees stuff and the honey and his jam, and now he wants to sell it, and he's very excited to get this off the ground, and it's just funny. I mean, it's fun that he found a new hobby, but why does everything have to be like millions and millions of dollar venture, Why can't you just do it and gift it to your friends and family? Why does it have to be a big thing? Because now it's going to turn into all this work and it's going to take the joy out. It's going to take the joy out of making your jam and doing all that homestead stuff. But there you go. David Beckham his stuff will be available. He thinks that people are going to fly across the world just to go to his farm and buy his stuff. Confidence? I think so. So this woman, this story is so crazy. A 95-year-old woman charged with murder in death of elderly nursing home roommate. This is really sad. The family of victim Nina Kravtsov, she's 89 and she was a Holocaust survivor. And imagine, you survive that. It's just like the girl from Ukraine. She fled Ukraine and then she gets stabbed on a subway here in North Carolina. And that's so ironic, right? So this lady, she's 95. She's gonna go to court and it's like you can't sentence, I mean you can, but by the time they even sentence her she could pass away. I mean she's 95 years old. She police responded to Seagate Rehabilitation Center in Coney Island, New York at 10:30 p.m. on a Sunday, where Krasov was allegedly found lying in her bed, non-responsive, covered in blood and with gash marks about her face and head. So the lady just pounded on her in her sleep. So the lady kind of woke up to this terror. Nurses found Smirnova in the bathroom washing blood from her hands in the sink. So she beats this lady up, goes to the bathroom, trying to rinse it off. The victim sustained fractures to her face and head, and she died early Monday morning due to blunt force trauma. It's so sad. If you see her picture, she looks so sweet. The murder weapon appeared to be a bloodstained wheelchair foot pedal, seen lying on the floor. Family is grieving in every sense of the word. It's my responsibility that justice is served for a woman that survived the Holocaust but could not survive a nursing home is dealt with correctly. I mean, how's a nursing home gonna know? I mean, maybe they should have cameras in the rooms monitored 24/7, but how else would they know that this lady's capable? A 95-year-old woman is going to be capable of that. I mean, she obviously had an episode of something, right? She obviously, I don't know, they say that people that have dementia or Alzheimer's, they can get very strong and very violent and kind of just break and have a psychotic episode. That's obviously what happened, but it's very sad and very interesting to see how they handle her in court. Because what are they going to put a 95-year-old in jail? You can't do that, especially someone that has mental issues. They can't do that. I don't know what they do with people like that. I mean, maybe a high security nursing home and by herself in a room so she can't hurt anyone. They can't put her in jail. That would be crazy. She can't even follow the rules and she'll kill someone in the cell, right? Or they'll kill her. So this story was really sad. Very, very sad. Just, we wake up every day to all these surprises and it's scary. In other news, Iris from Love Island. So since her and Pepe broke up, she's all of a sudden back with TJ. It's I think TJ looks like a loser for taking her back. He should have made her wait. He should have made her pay for it. I don't know. What are you just sitting like a puppy on the sideline? You got dumped from the island. She could have just stayed alone and waited for you. She could have just hung out with Pepe but not gotten too serious. But she literally picked Pepe over you because after they left, they were still together, and she would have still stayed with him if he wouldn't have cheated on her. So, man up. Maybe make her suffer. Make her suffer. Make her wait. For you to go right back to her is crazy. They were in New York Fashion Week and posting all this stuff, holding hands. So they're definitely back together. I kind of think TJ looks like a woman. No offense, TJ, but he kind of has facial features like a woman. Um, Speaking of New York Fashion Week, everybody was up in arms saying the crowd was so cheesy because all these influencers showed up this year, like more than ever. There was no real good people there, and there was all the front rows were filled with influencers from Love Island, from all these stupid reality shows, and they're like, this makes it look very tacky. And what's happening, right? And then they showed up with not the best outfits either. Iris doesn't know how to wear pants. I don't know. She has to have her butt cheeks hanging out. I don't know what that's about. But she showed up like that with a jacket and booty shorts to a fashion show, and she has no style whatsoever. She needs to up her style. See, that's when girls are so hot like that and they don't know how to dress, it makes me very sad because you got half of the good stuff. Like, learn how to dress, because being naked is not what makes you look good. Having style is what makes you look good. So people are up in arms that these influencers are swarming these events, but whatever. Hilary Duff has a new contract coming out for music, which is exciting. I love Hilary Duff. She's one of the few that made it out unscathed, it seems. Semi-normal, good family. She's pretty. She looks like her head's together. Oh my God, let's not talk about Britney Spears and all her. Britney Spears, the public should apologize for getting her out of that conservatorship. She needs something because she's off the rails. Off the rails. She looks so not well, and it's very sad to see. And I don't know. Anyways, Hilary Duff has signed a new music contract with Atlantic Records, officially announcing her return to music after a decade-long hiatus. The deal was announced September 9th, 2025, and also involves a new docuseries chronicling her musical comeback. So she's going to have a docuseries, Love. I think she's married, has a few kids. Like, she's so cute. I love her. I loved all her movies growing up. I love all her songs. I think she wrote the song for the Laguna Beach show. Yeah, I'm excited. I love her. I'm happy for her. I wonder what kind of music. I hope it's not teeny boppy stuff. Obviously, she's older now, so I hope it's a little better than that. Hilary Duff. And I'll be listening. Justin Bieber also dropped his second half of his album. Justin Bieber's another one. What is happening? He's posting more than ever. He never used to post so much. He's posting the oddest content with him in underwear, with him making stupid faces. He looks he looks unwell too. He looks so different. I don't know. Justin Bieber's like so handsome, so cute, but not today. Today he doesn't look handsome or cute. He looks silly, and I want to know how he's making it through. How is she still attracted to him with the way he looks and dresses and acts like silly, like a little kid, He's too old, I feel. I don't know. He's turned the corner. Last week I talked about how these celebrities, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, they turn a corner and they get weird. Justin has turned the corner and he's getting weird. But I hope you're not too far down the corner. You can turn around and go back to the hot avenue. And when I say hot, I don't just mean physical. I just mean overall healthy, manly, healthy, grown up type healthy, hot. And then Cardi B announced what is with Cardi? Cardi B announced she's pregnant and with another guy, Steven Diggs. That's her boyfriend. She literally just got divorced from the other guy. What is she doing? Does she not know how to just date people? It's like J-Lo getting married every 5 minutes. Why don't you just date him, get to know him, see how he is, maybe get married first? Why is she having baby after baby? And that just complicates things. They haven't even been together that long. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why it's not fair to the kids. And it's just, she had so much drama with the other guy that why do you want to put yourself through that? Why do you want to put yourself in a place you don't need to be? So he's a New England's Patriot. And, football players never cheat. No, I'm kidding. You know, Jesse James Decker, my favorite country singer, she's married to Eric Decker. He was a football player, and I think he's the only, I'm sure there's more, right, that we don't hear of and they're not on the spotlight. But he's the only football player that's hot, that's a stand up guy and normal guy, and he doesn't cheat. And he doesn't look like that at all. And they have a great relationship, it seems. But, those guys in that space, that's what they do. That's what they do. And if he's with Cardi B, it's more than likely that he's kind of that guy. Maybe not, hopefully not. But I don't know what she's thinking. Like, why not just wait until you're with them a little longer? So you know their personality, you get along. She has 3 children with her ex-husband Offset. And he told her, let me heal you. Give me a chance for me to heal you. That's a red flag. You can't heal her. I don't know. Is that a red flag? I feel like that's a little love bomby. How long have they been together? Oh, she credits Diggs for making her feel safe and confident, very strong. Like you could take over the world. See, that's to me, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. Cardi B. I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you want to hear the interview of all interviews, you need to go back to this Bitch Bible podcast. I mentioned it before. Just Google it. Google Bitch Bible Podcast with Cardi B. It's Jackie Schimmel and Cardi B. The most awkward interview you've ever heard in your life. It's golden. She apologized to her fans after Jackie did. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why we were speaking 2 different languages. She is a Jewish sarcastic chick. And Cardi B is like on another world and they're talking in 2 different languages. Cardi B shares her story, how she got her BBL in some Brooklyn basement of someone that didn't have a license and someone else died on that lady's table. It's amazing. That interview is amazing because Cardi B used to be on Love and Hip Hop New York and she was a nobody. And she was funny back then and she did the little rabbit teeth face that she still does sometimes. And I've always watched Love and Hip Hop, guys. I'm grandfathered in. So I watched it and I still watch it. I still watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Yes, I do, because just like the Housewives, I'm grandfathered in. I'm going to keep watching. It's what I do. So yeah, you should Google it. It'll tell you the episode number. Go to the Bitch Bible, find it. And it's so funny. I think it's so funny. So many people don't know about it. I remember listening to it and be like, oh my God, this is so awkward. So yeah, it was crazy. And good luck, Cardi B. I suggest you stop having babies before like you get along with people, because you have a lot to lose. You have a lot of children, and these men cannot be trusted. You got to see what they're about for real. Give it a moment. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys off with this last story that I heard on TikTok. This girl starts talking about she has a rectal prolapse situation and she had to get surgery for it. But before she got surgery for it, her asshole kept hanging out of her butt. How does that happen? I don't know, but apparently it's more common than we know. And it's mortifying. It was mortifying to hear. I was just like mouth open watching her stories. And it was so funny. She was just like in the car talking about, she's like, she went to the emergency and they kind of put sugar on it. You know when a dog has his wiener out and you put sugar on it so it can go back in because it's so pink and disgusting, like staring at you? You're supposed to put sugar on it, it goes back in. I don't know what the science is behind that, but they put sugar on her asshole and they shoved it back inside. I just can't get it out of my head. It's so crazy. And she said she went home, but it pops back out. So they told her, buy yourself a box of gloves and some sugar, and you got to push that shit back in when it comes out. But it was just coming out all the time. And she had this trip already planned somewhere. They had this long 8-hour drive ahead of them. She didn't want to miss it or something. And she went and she just kept pushing that back. I'm like, I wouldn't eat because I would be scared to go to the bath. How do you go to the bathroom if there's something hanging out of your, oh my gosh, I don't even know what that looks like. Is your Is it like sitting right at the edge of your butt that it could just pop? I don't, how does that work? How can it pop out if your butt cheeks are closed? I don't get it. Or maybe it only pops out when she goes to the bathroom because then like she's sitting and it's opening. I don't know how that works. And I'm freaked out because people are saying there's different causes for it. I don't know if one was like the long sitting on the toilet too long. They always say never do that. When you go to the bathroom, don't sit there and read a magazine and just hang out with your butt kind of pressuring out because that's not good. But I don't know. There was some other it was crazy. Like if you heard her story on TikTok, let me know because it was fascinating. It was fascinating. It could be caused by weakening and damage of muscles and tissues that support the rectum. So I'm sure if you have anal, that is probably a factor. So stay away from that. Chronic constipation and straining, difficult or multiple vaginal bursts. Okay, bursts can also nerve damage from injuries or neurological conditions and age. That is, you know how women suffer from as you get older. Some women have to get that mesh, the string that they kind of they do the surgery. So you're because our organs start to kind of gravity, it goes down, and then you start peeing more, and then you get pressure, and you can't even cough or laugh without peeing, which is horrible, right? So you're supposed to do pelvic floor exercises and all that, but at the end of the day, they could do this really simple thing that they kind of prop it up and surgery it so it sticks up and it won't fall anymore. So I know someone that got it, and she said it was the best thing she ever did. And if she realized how easy the procedure was, she would have done it years ago. And she's had like 4 other people do it. After she did it, she mentioned it, and everyone else was having the same issue, and they said it was amazing. So it's kind of like that, I guess. Like your anus can prolapse just like your pelvic floor, and that's crazy. It's just so crazy. The older we get, the more and more crazy things we find out that happen to people health wise. It's just amazing. I don't want to prolong anus, and so I don't want to prolong pelvic floor either. So I'm gonna do my exercises and try to avoid both these issues. But yeah, it was a great story, and I really enjoyed it. And she was just funny about it. She was very funny, taking not taking herself too seriously. And her husband was helping her, and what a nice husband. Good for her. She has a partner that really stuck by her through that. But okay, that's all I have for you guys. I'm so excited for Dancing with the Stars this week. I'm hooked, locked in. I already talked about it last week, but I'm excited to see if they got better, different dances. Hilaria Baldwin, in specifically, I feel like she just does one type of dance, but I want to see her do something else. And yeah, that's all we got. We're going to do reality recap soon, so stay tuned for that. Bye.